Welcome back. Here's Kovacs Report. It's time to get our claws out because we are taking a look at Wolverine number 12. So, this story kicked off, I think, way back in Wolverine 8 or 9, where it was revealed that Wolverine's long dead mother from the 19th century, who would be hundreds of years old now, at least over 100, was actually still alive. So I thought, even though this story was scraping the bottom of the barrel for ideas, it could turn out to be quite epic, really. You know, a story where we're really getting into the psyche of our friend Logan here. So, this is the finale of that arc. I am going to go through it page by page. There will be spoilers. Do read the book first if you don't want it spoiled. And of course, like the video if you like the video, and hit subscribe if you can too. I'd really appreciate it. So, let's just get into this story. So, Saladin Ahmed and Martín Cóccolo here of the creative team. And to be honest with you, it's been quite boring. I'm not going to mince my words at all here. Now, Wolverine's one of those characters where you can really have some fun, tell some great stories. You know, he's set up for everything. You know, his mind has been messed with so many times. He's brutal. But he's also got a heart, right? And I thought, you know what? Bringing his mother potentially back, we could really find out what makes Wolverine tick, because he has carried this guilt for years and years and years. And this guilt extends from, well, I'll give a bit of a backstory. So Elizabeth, Wolverine's mother, she married some affluent landowner called John Howlett Sr. in the late 19th century, right? She had two sons, John Jr., who died mysteriously amid sort of hints of mutant-related violence, and it left her scarred on her face, little claw marks. And it also led to her being institutionalized in a madhouse, actually. Anyway, James, our Wolverine here, he was conceived during an adulterous affair with the abusive groundskeeper Thomas Logan. Now, Wolverine's true biological father, Thomas Logan, wasn't a great guy, and he was fired from the estate after his son not only killed James's puppy, but made unwanted advances on James's companion, Rose. So Thomas, being the dirtbag that he was, invaded the estate with a shotgun, intending to abduct Elizabeth, James's mother and Thomas's former lover. Now, when John Cena confronted the intruders, Thomas shot him dead, and that triggered our good old friend here, Wolverine's mutant powers to manifest for the first time, and his bone claws emerge, sending him into a berserker rage where he instinctively killed Thomas in retaliation. Now, this led to Elizabeth denouncing him as a monster, exiling him from the estate, and eventually also led to her suicide, until we got to this story where apparently she's not dead. So we have been strung around for 2 or 3 issues where Wolverine's researching if this note that he has got from his mother was real. He's been brought back to the family estate. He's been pitted against some random mutants of no consequence whatsoever. And he's gone into the house and he's found Sabretooth there. Of all the villains, that you could expect, we've got Sabretooth again. He's fought Sabretooth. He's defeating him, to save his mother. But he's finally got his mother back, and all these thoughts are coming into his head. I mean, it's quite an interesting story, right? It is quite an interesting story. I mean, mothers shape sons, and having guilt that your mother died because of you, that's going to carry some weight and really going to shape you as a person, and especially when that person is Wolverine, right? So here we are. We have gone through this rigmarole, but it turns out the villain behind all of this is Mastermind, and he is masquerading as Wolverine's mother. She's not really real. She is long dead, but his master of the illusions that he has, which he honed when they brought him back in Krakoa, has got so strong that he's really messing with Wolverine's head here, and Wolverine thinks his mother's alive. As you can see, this first page, we're seeing him taking his mother by her hand, but we're actually seeing that it's Mastermind behind it. Now, they're trying to get away because Sabretooth was down, but he's mysteriously vanished. So they get in a car and they're driving around. Wolverine's starting to sense something's a bit weird here, right? He sees these hikers walking and he's driving and he's saying, listen, I'm going to take you to see my friends, and we're going to protect you. She's like, no, I'm not ready to meet the X-Men. He's like, well, how did you know about the X-Men? I've never met the X-Men. You've just been brought back from the dead. How could you possibly know about the X-Men? So you think something's not right here. And then he notices those same hikers in the same position, walking on the same road, and he realizes someone is playing with my head. So this is where it all clicks in, and we go into this weird sort of inside, I guess, Wolverine's mind, a little bit of psychedelia. And rather than tell a really good story, which is drawn out over a number of issues or a number of arcs, where we really see the weight of the fact that his mother's back and him dealing with his guilt and him maybe loving his mother and having a relationship, so that when it's taken away from him, it hurts even more. No, it's all wrapped up in the next few pages, all explained for you, done and done. Because Marvel and most comic book companies now, they want 4 issues in a trade so they can get 3 trades out a year instead of 2. And that is where we get this compressed storytelling. Now, having said that, you could still do something good with those 4 issues, but this has just been one long dragged out story, and we get the finale all smashed into these last few pages. And this is where we get Wolverine going, I know who you are now. It must be Mastermind. So he's figured out that it's Mastermind, just like that. And he's going, I was, I've been a bad boy in my past. I love my mother. I'm not the bad monster that she said I was. And he starts explaining everything, and he reveals himself, but it's actually an illusion. Wolverine tries to kill him, but of course it's an illusion because he is Mastermind, and he realizes he's got to walk through the stairs of his mind, like an Escher painting. I think it's Escher. And he comes and he's telling everyone that he's not a monster. I am Elizabeth Owlett's son. I'm not this monster. I'm not a villain. And he just explains his whole psyche here. Like, really? And why is he explaining this anyway? It's so boring. I'm going to read it to you. I ain't your son. I'm Elizabeth Howlett's son, the real Elizabeth, and my mother wasn't a monster or a villain. She was a damaged, troubled woman stuck in a stifling life. She did the best she could, but she had to lash out at someone. I was just the safest target. I've been carrying the hurt from that whole life, and it just goes on and on with him explaining everything. Then the magical door appears, and he's back in the sort of dilapidated family mansion on the estate, where Mastermind sends some boring illusion goons at him. Wolverine slices and dices him, and that's it. It's like, honestly, you have dragged us along for 4 issues, right? Saying that this is going to be one of those stories that changes everything for Wolverine. It is going to rewrite the history of the character. It's going to be it's 4 issues of absolute boredom. Like, I am bored. I'm bored even reviewing it, and I'm just disappointed because this could have been something really special. It's like I always say to myself in life when I'm feeling down that, I'm given something so that when it's taken away from me, it hurts more. It hurts more than never having it, right? So I thought giving him his mother back could have been a story where he really gets connected. Maybe he softens up a bit. Maybe he feels more fulfilled as a person. Maybe that guilt washes away from him and he starts to build a new life, only to have it taken away from him. But no. He just fights a couple of random mutants, figures it out that it's Mastermind, kills him, walks off, and dusts himself off as if nothing really affected him. It's like, yeah, I'm cool, whatever. Next person's going to mess with my mind, and I just can't believe it. You've got Martín Cóccolo doing beautiful art here. You've got Wolverine, one of the most sought after characters as a writer. Now, if you are a writer and you love Marvel, you're going to want to write Wolverine. Why waste this opportunity and burn? And it is burning a story that could have absolutely redefined the character and could have gone down in that canon that you always go to, like Wolverine Origins, like Enemy of the State, like Weapon X. But no, it's just another wasted opportunity for throwaway comic books. And that's exactly what they are. It's throwaway books because they want to get these trades out and they want to take your coin. And I'm just fed up with it, really. I'm at the point where I'm super fed up with a lot of these books. And they're all mainline books. Spider-Man, terrible. Captain America wasn't very good. Daredevil is in the pits. Amazing Spider-Man is probably one of the worst affected too. And now Wolverine has joined it. For 1 whole year, we've had nothing. We've had a Wendigo character that's been introduced, and we've had this story about Wolverine's mother, which has been wasted. So again, it is a bit of a rant, but I want these comics to be good because I love these characters just like you, and we deserve better stories. They really, really need to get some new blood here, some new blood that can write good, lasting stories that you want to talk about and reread over and over again. Anyway, Do let me know your thoughts. You may be enjoying this book. I certainly didn't. But if you enjoy it, then that, again, I'm going to say this every time when I have a rant. If you enjoy it, that's absolutely fine. It's just my opinion, right? It doesn't change your opinion. You're allowed to enjoy this book. Just because some YouTuber said it wasn't very good, it shouldn't change your opinion on the book. But, you know, this channel is about how I feel about these books. So you're always going to get my honest opinion. Anyway, do let me know your thoughts if you've watched this far, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next video. But don't forget, as always, like the video if you like the video and hit subscribe too. I'd really, really appreciate it.